it.
Okay. Can I share the video?
Yes, please, go ahead.
So, my camera is on now. I don't know. Oh,
Yes,
you can see now. So here I have only the rest thing of this. So I had this motor, and as you can see here is a little bit of guns outside of the ball, but inside it is empty. And this is because one day I put this in the water, and then suddenly the little bit of guns that was in the water went into the bowl when it was turning, and I can't wash it out anymore. It is on the walls. And then I had my 3 balls here. Here is only 2 because the other one is missing. I have only these 3 balls. And then, you know, there have been people saying, oh, this ball would anyway crash because of the speed of the centrifugal force. But it is not true. When I had these 3 balls, I had in the water with a high speed and nothing happened for 15 minutes. And then when I approached these 2 to each other, when I came close to here, then it happened that the ball exploded. It was not here, it was not further out, it was when I came very close to here. And this was on a very low speed. It was not a high speed. So impossible this ball could splash crash with this low speed. That's what I done. And the inner was filled with with the mixture of the 3 guns, COO, CO2, CH3, and the outer was only CH3. This was on this test I made. And then this was exploding. And this is the ball that I can't find anymore, such a kind of a glass ball.
Can you test it? Can we see if you can turn the motor on? What happens?
Not right now, because I would have, you know, yesterday something happened to me. I was running the whole afternoon with this kind of a power plant. It has 2 amps, and normally it should last for 2 motors. But yesterday it overheated suddenly, and then the motor stopped because and I haven't experienced any time this that the power plant the power thing overheated. And maybe it has to do with an interaction too, because it was too close to the motors.
Well, we did just lose your video. I'm not sure if you turned it off or not, but it just seemed yeah, we lost your video at the moment you're talking about losing your power supply.
Oh yeah, yes.
Okay. No,
you know, I didn't any time experienced this, that my power source was overheated. They have run for days 2 motors, and never the power source overheated. And this time with the gold in it, the 2 balls with the gold, it overheated after a few hours, 1 or 2 hours. I don't know what it is, and that's why I cannot show it. I have no power source now here.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. And you haven't found these 2 little balls anywhere?
Yeah, I do not search anymore. I make new ones now.
Okay.
I have searched for a whole day or more, the whole room, and nothing is there. Nothing.
What about in the rooms next door? Like
yes, there we have looked too, and we have cats, and I'm sure if they would see such a ball, they would try to play with it, and it is not there.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you. Thank you.
Indeed. One of the options we have is possibly we start the distribution of the maggraph generators in Rome conference, or from Rome conference. If you remember, we gave the maggraph systems to ambassadors from different nations last October. If we can manage and bring it to a position which we like, on the September meeting of the Universal Council and the Council, 6 members of head of the nations of the planet, we will give one to our own ambassadors to take back to their nations for the development and technology. Then the Universal Council members, as they are the ambassadors for their language, for the part of the world, which is the totality, the way we have mixed as one race, they will carry this with them back to their home. We gave it to the governmental. Everything was wrong with it because it would have affected their work. This time, if we manage to bring it into the line by that day, we will give a generator unit, maggraph system, to the Universal Council members to take it back with them. And at that point, we spread the knowledge worldwide simultaneously, and we achieved one of the biggest goals of the foundation, which was to create balance between all races and nations and colors and languages. So in that process, there is a possibility. There is no guarantees. We might even, because we are developing things in different directions, we give what we call gravitational magnetical field positioning system to every delegate. The process is for the rapid change, and as they are the new leaders to dictate the condition of peace, it will be fantastic when a large number of these units, both for energy and if we can do for positioning, will go out of Rome and will be distributed worldwide. On that time, we will release the blueprint. And as we did with last October in Rome, in September in Rome, we follow the same thing, and most probably we show more in the conference in Ghana. So in Rome, you will see the working generators on the commercial side. Hopefully we can do it, because if you were in Rome last year, you saw the minutes before the presentation, the maggraph systems were brought in by the factory. We try to be able to have the same generators available to be distributed amongst the Universal Council members and the Council members, that they can take it back to their continents and to their countries and to wherever they go back to share it in their own language across the planet. We change the course of energy, and with it, whatever is developed from now until that point will be shared in Ghana. We're trying to make sure that the meetings of the Universal Council does not become the representation of showing something as it happened in Dubai. We're trying to keep the meeting of the Universal Council to as minimum as possible, that they are there for interaction, for the change of the course, and for the Universal Council and interaction with a member of the Council, which is the 6 members of the 6 continents, in how they're going to interact. From that point on, we open all the finances of the Keshe Foundation to the Universal to the Council that they can use for the spread and development and sharing. In a meeting with the manufacturers this week, I explained to them that we expect the factories, those who can, go into production, all the documents finished by the end of this month, that in September, simultaneously, by the time we launch and release the generators in Rome, they are ready to meet the demand. We have brought a new management team in running the manufacturing. They're a very nice team working very closely. And in that process, we are ready not only to share the knowledge, not only to put the units, not only to bring the space technology a step forward, but we are prepared to share and change the course. Those of you, I have received a number of emails. I would like to be the council from such and such a country. Submit your forms. We have not opened the council line yet, and it will not be open for the next few days. There is a reason for it. I'll explain in the coming time. Those of you who think you can lead mankind to peaceful condition and you can change the course of humanity using what is there on the table in a peaceful application, in a peaceful change, and you think you can be the leaders of your own continent and you can be just and correct in respect to the others, you can apply. As I said before on Tuesday, I do not stand for any of the positions. It's for you as human race. The way now we have some number of the councillors for the Universal Council appointed. We had a meeting yesterday with them. They will be in Rome. They do not need to be interacted. They are there to interact amongst themselves, to increase the soul of the man, understanding of the position of the man in respect to the council, which is responsible for the running of the work of the physical side of humanity, in respect to the other side, which is the intermediary between the two as the Universal Council. We start providing and facilitating systems, technologies, finances to start the process. The foundation is not looking to no organization that they think with their intervention they can decide or change the course. We go into more detailed development, and it's from now on up to you, how do you develop this technology? We have gone from the matter state into the plasma state, then you have to develop it, you have to test it. We brought in people from outside to show technologies and developments, and they have caused mayhem outside. That is why we more or less decide to work on what we call the Innovation Center team and the others which we find reliable information carriers. We saw unreliable presentation last week, which gives a distorted information. All these we are siphoning out. If you develop something, you record it. Till we don't see it, you send it to the Keshe Foundation Center, a webmaster. Rick will look at it. If it is correct, with nothing in the background that jeopardize our channels, we will show it, you can explain it, and that will be the point. At this moment of time, we have and we can deliver technologies which can interfere with everything possible known to man. Crafts, ships, cars, house energy fields. My job is not to bring and try to push. My job is to guide that it comes to the point where it is done by a number of people and cannot be blocked. We saw a blocking technique and tactic, especially carried out by the Chinese representative of the Keshe Foundation on the instruction of the government of China. We have bypassed it. We will not allow such a thing to happen again. very tactical point was used, what I call by deception, and we bypassed it in a very easy way. We will not wait for others to take position. We create a condition that they have to react to the position we create and the condition we create. In so many ways, by freeing the energy and the knowledge, we force the condition for what we are looking for as a peace organization with the technology to create and develop it. I ask you, all of you, you have $20 to start playing the game. A cooling system, fan from a computer, and a few balls, ping pong balls, different sizes inside each other. You will join the edge of the knowledge technology without actually knowing more than any professors in any universities or organizations in the world. Sharing of the knowledge is important. We have to understand the team which is teaching how to make nano coating is as important as the one who are teaching and working on the work of interaction of the plasma. We are in the development of the technology and the understanding of technology by numerous people who just keep on coming every day on. So we have to have a spectrum of teachers right across. Understanding of technology. We have people like Ingrid in Germany. She's done the translation of the books with her husband, who's a physicist, into explanation of the technology. We have people like in the background who teach the nano production from the matter state. We have people who become expert in the production of GANs. We have a group of people who feel good in working with the plasma, liquid plasma. Now we are creating conditions for the people who can work with the field plasma because they don't need to see physicality, they understand it. And then we have a group of people who are applying this, like Dr. Gota in Kenya. We have Benjamin in Ghana Atomic Energy Commission. We have Alex who does it in the fields of Nigeria. We have people in Australia who are testing on the water and the agriculture. So we are spreading the knowledge on the application. Those of you who are in the GANs level, is perfect for what you're doing because it's what needs to be done. Still a lot to explore. Those of you who go into the plasma and core level, the way we see today, like with Alex and Peter, then you become to the next level, which is now instead of using matter state like water to grow the plants, you use the fields from these cores to do the same. Then you become detached from the system. People like Dr. Klaus in Austria, Keshe Foundation Manufacturing, they will start working on the next step developments as we still need the coils, but the new core system will allow us to expand the knowledge. So my job is not to build. I've built enough. I've made the foundation. Now it's in your hand. It's you who got to spread it, to expand it, to understand it, and I'm here to guide. When there is a need for explanation, I explain to enlighten, to go further. But from now on, we will see the full spectrum of the people. The ones who go to the latest stage, which is the field interaction, you will find out very quickly that you don't even need these plastic balls because you find out there is nothing you can do with them. They become useless. You've seen it now. The wall is there, the ball is there, the water is in there, but the field is so strong that even the water gets pulled out. Why did we create the ball to start with? But we needed it to create the fields, and now the fields have taken over. There is no need for the water because the field forces pushes the boundary of the field to the point where the water can exist. If you can make a sphere that can absorb the water coming from one field to another, and you can make 3 or 4 spheres next to each other, you will see the water will go through every layer and you have moisture in different caps. This is important because then you understand how to transfer matter states or energy states from one to another. Those of you who had the 4 fields and you saw the water getting emptied, now get yourself another container put around this. And then you see another container and you see how the material will flow to the other and manifest itself. You'll find in one container you find all the salts, in the other one you find the gas of one thing, and in the other one you find gas of the other. I already spoken about this months ago, a couple of years ago. And for those of you who understood, and I said, if you nanocoat at least each layer or create the Gans condition field of a material in the other cores, you will start collecting it. As I said, we are going fast, very, very fast with the advancement of the technology. So it's for you to develop it and spread the knowledge. What this means, you have this core, you saw the water coming out. But if you make other condition plasmatic fields in each section, here you will capture, let's say, the sodium. In here, you capture the copper because you put the copper field strength in this one, and then very much you start filtering. If you create a condition of, let's say, aluminium here, you will collect aluminium. The stronger fields, the closer you need to go. Or you create a condition of it. I explained this to the Innovation Center a couple of days ago in a very simple system. If you've been to feather manufacturing companies or now producing companies, when they feather the duck, everything, all the feathers of the duck goes in one pot. And what they do, they have like walls. There's a huge fan here. It blows as the feather drops, and this blows. The heavier feathers, the big one falls here, and duck downs, which is the lightest and the most expensive, land in a further position. This is the same thing as you do. But now you create gravitational magnetic field forces in reverse. So your system sits on this end, and you go the opposite field to field. You can always find replication in the process of the matter. If you reverse it in majority of the time, you will find the performance of the plasma. Vacuum condition. Now you see the worries is that the outer core has no material in it, but still there is a specks of matter state of the liquid plasma you put in, which now behaves like a vacuum. You have created for the first time in these empty balls a vacuum conditioned field, but still some plasma in it, which means in reality, this core here has become vacuum conditioned. The amount of the field you spread, the higher the vacuum condition becomes. There is no way you can void it of its fields. And then when it comes to the running, this core will interact with this core interact with both. One rotates this way, the other one rotates that way. And then you'll find out even this rotates in totally different direction to the other three. If you go and look at the motion of the planetary system in our solar system, you soon will see the operation of these things for yourself. You can put a ball inside another ball to see the behavior of the proton and electron. These are important. These are part of the structure which now the world of science has the capability to see the real operation, not what has been assumed. In a simple system, in the coming time, we'll explain to you how the technology will spread very rapidly. The technology will spread amazingly rapidly that we can produce and replicate every condition in the universe, be it from macro to micro. So from now on, you have to remember a very simple practices, and it brings you in a very, very fast way to how some of you will develop the technology much faster than those who started before you, because once you start the process, you get locked into it. Not many people are flexible to go one to another. Remember two things. The world of universe has only two propositions. Gravitational, magnetical. Magnetical, gravitation. And this in this every entity where one increases, the other one decreases. And at all time, these fields continuously interact with each other. At any point is the representation of the balance of the two field forces. If you look in the structure of the coils in the maglev system, you have that representation. The coil, the wire, which goes between the two coils. You pick up the representation of it. If you cut that wire which goes in the center and just use it as coils, you will see totally different performance, which is more in a plasma condition than the matter state magnetic gravitational field condition. This is part of the understanding. This is what you now face, and this is what you have to realize very rapidly. You have very similar condition as you had with the coils. You have created a very simple coil. If you remember, we created the double loop coil inside each other, which itself had a double coil. This had a gravitational magnetical field. This had a gravitational magnetic field, which we see on these coils. And this is exactly, if you look, you repeat in your cores. Here you have a ball which has both gravitational and magnetical, and you put another ball which has its own gravitational magnetical. And if you put another ball, it's the same still. But the condition changes as this gravitational and magnetical here has to connect with this has to connect with this. At the same time, you have this end connecting with this, and this end connecting with this. But at the same time, depending on the strength of these, this chap here has to connect with this, and this chap has to connect with that. And now you see whatever is the balance between this and this and this will dictate the motion of this one, and whatever it is, the gravitational magnetic field of this and this and this will dictate the rotation of this one. But there's a very big difference. If you understood this level, then you can imagine you have a star building a plasma, where in the center here, you have here the totality higher strength field of all three. At this level, you have the two reduction minus. Here, you have the three reduction minus. Now, you see for the first time, as this rotates, for example, the fields here reduce in strength and gravitational this way, but they increase magnetically on this way. And if you understand this, you see what I have made you to make as balls is the replication of the work of the plasma in the universe. And this is important. If you understand this, you are on the verge of replicating any condition in the universe. We had to do it step by step. You understood in the interaction of the nanomaterial. Go back to it. What we did, we used the matter state. Then we put nanomaterial of it, and then we create the GANs of it. But if you look, the same proposition exists in all dimensions. But here, the strongest is outside, the weakest matter state is inside. That's why you can extract energy, because you bring the field into the matter state. Here is opposite. You go back in the opposite direction. So now you see, as I said before, all the teachings of past 2 years, a lot of you got lost and said, why does he keep on moving from one to another? Is because when we get to this point of teaching, you understand, because you have seen different side of it. You've seen it from the matter state, you've seen it from the GANs state, you have seen it from the interaction of the GANs and the matter state, and now you are totally moving into the field, which is the next step. And we've seen in the process last week or on Tuesday with Brennan, we've seen it with what you call Douglas's test. And now you don't need to worry about it. Just test it yourself. Cost you $10. If you have an old computer at home, just open it up, get the fan out, keep the connection of the circuit that you can run the fan off the main. Make sure you don't make one mistake, and this is essential. Those of you who start playing with the fans, like Douglas or anybody else, there is a small problem you have to watch. You have the fan. You place the ball to go on the fan. Never place the ball directly on the fan, because now the field locks in. Make sure you create aluminum coil, a coil or something made of copper or whatever, or plastic, that you create a gap, that the field flow will be mainly of the state of the plasma yourself. If you leave the ball directly on the system, you will not get the true effect of the system, because now you are going through the motor as well. So the interaction is uncontrolled. You cannot, because you do not know exact property of the motor inside the computer program, computer fan. So a little things, if you look out, the further you can stick this up, the more of the material you get, your field interaction. Those of you who use like plastics and use all sorts of these clear balls, you have to understand why your system leaks. It's very simple. Most of you, all of you, have used as a liquid inside your system CH3, CO2, and other carbon links. When you put the system in rotation, what you've done, I go further down that you understand. If this is your core, and this is your motor, and this is your plastic, whatever you hang it on, the liquid inside, doesn't matter which one, has a CH3, let's say, CO2, and other things. You're using plastic. You have possibly some sort of the combination of hydrogen and carbon, depending on flexibility, some bonding of oxygen. So now you see why the water leaks. Because in combination of these fields, you have replicated at one point the property of the plastic. So in fact, the plastic does not exist to the eye of the field. The water goes to define this combination. Now you understand why you see this leakage. If you want to understand more what this means, I can explain it to you in a very, very simple system. If you have a 3D printer, you can replicate it and you understand it very fully. Let me just find it for you. I'll come back because I have it here. I can show it to you and you understand it in a very simple, fast way. Most of the systems which we built some time ago, we used a 3D printer. And we could not understand why we were losing so much of our material till a knowledgeable man with the plasma technology. I'm looking for these little tubes, the gray tubes we have. We had a lot of it. Yeah, the ones the brown, we had one or two black. No, the ones we built in three-dimensional. No, the cylinders. The cylinders which we have different things on them. One here, I found one, it's okay. This is a good thing, we are in the lab, so we can quickly find the things we are looking for. If you understand how your system works with the plasma, it's like this. This is a 3D printer, very much copy of the vacuum of what I built years ago. This was done nearly 5 years ago. These 3D printers, they look solid, but in fact, they are very much porous. They are like your kidneys. They're like God knows any other material. If you find the right mixture, you'll find you fill up the container with a liquid, and the next day, all the liquid is out. Because the dimension and the holes cannot be done. These are built in a special form that they all have some sort of hole that it leaks out. There is no liquid in it. So you cannot make, this is the old version, they have adopted it now. The system is porous. The same thing happens with you when you mix these things. The system compared in the strength become the same, and in fact, when it's the same, it does not exist. That's why suddenly you lose so much water. The loss of the liquid is because you bring balance to the barriers. The barrier does not exist. Most of this leakage, if you do a close observation in the future, should be somewhere aligned with this line, where the field strength, or with this line, is strong but equal to both the carbon, which is composition, oxygen, and hydrogen, and it doesn't exist, so you get the leakage. The minute you stop, everything comes back in again. And you'll find out there is nothing here to fill up. If you look at the same condition in your reactors with a solid gas inside, and you create the same kind of condition, in a given point, this becomes transparent. Because the field strength is more or less rebounded by the CH. Because now the whole energy is in balance and you only see the light transparency. You will start seeing these phenomena, and you see you have a solid core, and then while the reactor is rotating, it becomes transparent because the field strength is about the same in this condition or in the other condition with the core, which has the interaction with the matter state. You get a leakage. Here, there is no matter state because there are other fields of the same strength. So the balance field is transparency. This is what I said. In the space technology, you create a condition, you can be seen, and the next second you disappear. All you need to know is the gravitational magnetic field strength of the environment you're in, and in creating it, you're still there, but you don't create a friction, so you have no light, no emission. Even though you see it, you can put your finger on the other side, the back of the ball, you see your finger, but you won't see the solid gas state of the matter which was in the center ball. This is, as I said, as we come, I explain more, because now a number of you have reached this point and you're testing, you're experimenting. You have to understand what you see and try to explain your knowledge according to gravitational magnetic field strength. Why one ball, as we saw with Douglas, moves clockwise and the other one anti-clockwise, which is exactly what happens in the center of the planet, in the center of the universe, in the center of the solar system. And the interaction of these rotation of one in a clockwise and anti-clockwise creates the motion and the positioning and the rotation of the ball. It's not that just is happening, because now everything is in plasmatic. You have enforced condition of the control, and now they have no chance but to interact, because you put the material here and you confine it. The only thing left is the balance field forces between gravitational and magnetical. If this is going this way, the other one has to go the other way for it to be able, this catching the magnetical field strength, this catching the, this catching the magnetical field, and this catching the, right, that you see it is correct. This catches your magnetical, and this catches your gravitation. Gravitation always rotates in the field of anti-clock. That's what we understand, because it winds itself into it. Magnetical winds the other way as it spreads. So slowly you become masters of the plasma and field technology, and in that process we move on to the next step. Any questions? If you have a question in respect to the plasma, we answer. Otherwise, please keep it to the other times.
Well, Mr. Kesh, you were talking about this idea of the reverse rotation, and there was a person that communicated to me in the last few minutes a video illustrating reverse rotation. I don't know this person. They're from the Taiwanese Kesh group, apparently. And they post the golden.
Are you happy? Sorry, I get a delay. Are you happy to show it? Are you? Is it okay?
Well, it seems good, and it seems like a perfect demonstration of what you were just talking about. So I think we should show it. And he sent me an email saying that he would need a translator. I think he's probably still here. Let me have a look at their.
If it's from Hong Kong, do we have Lisa from China in the background? She can translate for us. Do we have anybody from Chinese community in the background?
I'll promote him to a panelist, so he might be able to talk. There are some, definitely there's about a dozen Chinese that are in as viewers. So if one of those can act as a translator, or maybe we have someone in the panelists, but more likely in the viewers, if someone can act as a translator, you can put up your hand and I'll promote you to a panelist along with the presenter. I'm not sure if that person's. I think they're still here. Anzai was the name that's on the chat, and it's Yanan Ko is the way I understand the name. Okay, so let me get the video just set up here. Just be a second.
Hey, Rick, there's Emilio Cinelli II, who's in the background, and he can speak Chinese, and he's offering to help.
Okay.
There's also a Lisa in the list, if that's the right Lisa.
If we have Lisa, it'll be good.
I'll promote Lisa. I'm not sure if it's the right one. Okay, we'll find out, I guess. Okay, I got the Emilio as well as another possibility there. So let's see. Let me see if I can get this video lined up here.
Do you want me to carry on till you get ready?
Well, I can do the screen share, and maybe we can get some action from one of our translators. I'm not sure if get this set up here first. There we go. Okay, I'm just getting it on live stream so it makes more sense. There we go, I think.
Do you want to share the screen?
Yeah, now I can do this, the share screen. And I think there's some sound to this as well. It's just over a minute long. And
let's see it first, and then we go through the discussion and translation.
Sure. Just a second here, like too many windows. There we are. Okay, here we go.
Can you open this?
I can't make it any bigger. This is the way the video came. I would have to download it first. Can you see it there? Is it?
We see a very narrow band circle.
Okay. Okay. Maybe there's a. I need to make the window a little smaller. Sometimes the video can stream.
It looks like to be what do you call it? From a mobile phone recording.
Yeah, that's right. That's the way it is. I'm trying to make it bigger. I don't know. No, it just made it smaller instead. So that didn't work. I can't go to full screen because it'll. I think it'll interfere. I could try.
It looks like it has no attachment to the base. It's rotating on its own accord.
Right, and the thing about it is, it appears to be rotating in the opposite direction as the sphere is rotating. So the fluid there's two fluids, I presume, inside that white container. Oh, this is a different video. It's a different setup. So we'll just look at it again. You can see there's no movement to start with, and as that sphere is brought down, from the top, the sphere appears to be counter-rotating, counterclockwise, that is. But the one on the bottom, as we can see shortly, you can see the fluid is definitely rotating clockwise very rapidly. It's only the bottle is only picking up speed after the fluid starts rotating, it looks like.
What is in that? Is there another magnet, otherwise it becomes like what we see in the laboratories to create motion? Or is it pure GANs?
Well, this is what we need to find out. I don't think there's a magnetic stir in there or anything, but okay, can we get some comment from our producer of this? Is Yanan there?
Yeah.
Okay, you need a translator? Can someone translate for Yanan then? Can you explain something about your video? Let's go back to the previous one here. Okay, let's just stop for a second. Let's ask, can you explain the setup? Is there any magnets or stirring apparatus underneath the ball? What's underneath the ball?
Lisa, could you translate? Is there anyone who can translate this to Chinese that we get a reaction?
Yes, Mr. Cash, I can translate if needed.
Could you please, Emilio, please?
So just, if you could ask him, Emilio, what the setup is. What is underneath the ball? What is rotating? What is in the fluid and what is in the container that's in there?
OK，请问一下，安在这个球的上面是有用什么东西来连接吗？以及球下面那个罐子里面是什么液体？里面好像有一个瓶子，那瓶子也是什么？所以请你跟大家介绍一下，谢谢。我再帮你翻译。
是这样的，上面那个旋转的球呢是用小电机带动的，是双层的，外面呢是铅干丝，然后里面呢是 CH3， 这是上面球的一个结构。你要先翻译吗？还是说我一下说完？那下面的这个结构呢，它那个我是想模仿3层球，就是说，因为我现在干丝不够，所以它外面这一层呢，这个杯子里面是弱酸性的这个干丝上清液，然后中间呢是 CO2 和铅干丝的上清液的混合。然后，
不好意思，你说下面是什么酸？然后 CO2。
最外面这个杯子里面呢是二氧化碳的上清液的，放点酸，这个混合的。然后呢，这里面转的这个瓶子呢，它里面是 GO2 和铅干丝的上清液混合的，里面还有一个小瓶子。是那个铅干丝。
好，所以你说下面是 CO2 的水，没有干丝，是只有水。
对，然后有酸，放了一些酸。
Can you give us some English so we can understand?
Yeah, I can translate.
It's okay, Lisa. You're too far from microphone. Can you come back closer?
Okay, how about now?
Yes.
That's good.
Okay. Yeah, he said the ball on the above is a GANS ball and with a motor running it, and the bottom he like a 3 layer GANSes. Say it, yeah, and was the in the cup was a CO2 GANS water with a little bit of acid. And in the small bottle is a CO2 gas and light gas. The water from a CO2 gas and light gas. And in the center is CO2 gas. Right? 是吗？安在？最中间的是二氧化碳干丝吗？
最中间的那个是二氧化碳和铅干丝的上清液。
不是，就是最中间，你不是3层吗？
最中间的那个玻璃小瓶是铅干丝。
对对，OK，the very inside one, the small, inside the bottle, there's small bottle, that's a light gas.
Yes, but is the ball connected to the spin at the bottom, the motor? Or
No, it's just above it.
It's just free on its own.
Yes, right.
And there are no magnets inside the ball. It's just the ganses.
开始问你说是不是这个球是不连着这个瓶子的？我说没连着。然后他问你是不是说这个球里边也没有磁铁之类的？说是不是这样？他在问你。
球里面没有磁铁。然后刚才我忘记说了一点东西，就是说它这个上面这个球是双层的嘛，里面那一层呢是 CH3 和烧碱溶液。还有一点那个 CO2 的上氢液，3种。
就说这双层的外边这层是外边这层是CH3，
外边这一层是铅，里面这一层是CO2 的上氢液，不是没有铅 ，CO2 的上氢液，然后 CH3， 然后就是烧碱水。
就是有几层啊？上面这个？
上面这个2层。
就说一层是
铅，加上的都是内核的。
Okay. The ball on the above, the one is a 2 layers ball. The
2 layers what?
2 layers. The ball has 2 layers. Okay, it's a double layer. Okay, inside the outside.
Can you come close to the microphone, Lisa, please?
Okay, the ball is not just one ball.
That's too close. A little bit further back. Thank you.
Yeah, it's 2 layers. The outside layer is seal 是什么了？第二最外边的。
最外面的是铅。
only lead. The outside layer just lead gas, and the inside has a CH3 in it, and also has a alkaline in it. So it's acid alkaline.
The inside is CO2. The inside ball.
Inside CO2 and the CH3.
And the outside?
It's lead.
CO2 water.
What water?
CO2 water.
CO2 water. So inside you have CO2 plus CH3, and outside you have a CO2 only.
No, outside is lead only. Lead gas. LEAD, lead.
Lead?
Yeah, lead.
Lead gas. Outside is only lead gas, and inside is CO3 plus CH3. CO2 plus CH3.
还有烧碱水。
And also alkaline water.
What do you call alkaline water?
Alkaline is I don't know.
Ask him what has he used. What has he used alkaline water?
他问你用的是什么碱液？
氢氧化钠。
Okay, caustic.
NaOH.
Yeah, NaOH.
So we want other people to be able to replicate this. The middle is CH3 plus CO2 plus alkaline water, which is a caustic water. Outside is just the lead gas. And the base, it's a motor with the, what is under that white cover?
他问你
What is it? Is it magnet or is it just something rotating?
Nothing. No magnet at all.
Pardon?
No magnet. Just a plastic. Yeah, just a plastic cap.
Yeah, but what's on? Is there a motor rotating, or is this rotating on its own without anything underneath?
Nothing underneath.
So this ball rotates on its own without a motor underneath rotating.
Oh, the ball is rotated with a motor. But the bottle, nothing.
Bottle, it's a small plastic bottle inside with the cap on it, Mr. Cash.
Yes,
Yes.
but what is on the beginning? What's on the